Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Yella Beezy. Now, earlier today, several reports surfaced talking about Yella Beezy's charges and the case that's levied against him, man. Now, for those of you who don't know, Yella Beezy was arrested once again about 2 weeks ago. And the charges, they seemed like it was pretty upfront. Like he was facing an assault charge, you know what I mean? The worst type of assault you could think of, the R word, and you know we don't like to say that. We're not going to use that word throughout this video, but I would like to say some of the details of the case are pretty troubling, so if you get triggered by stuff like that, you might not want to hear this, man. Because in these reports, they detail everything that's being alleged that Yella Beezy did. Now, I'm not saying that Yella Beezy did these things, but what's being alleged in these reports, specifically in the report by TMZ, is wild. Now, before we get to the specifics and break all this down, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this Yella Beezy situation, man. Now, this just got ugly, man. Like I said earlier, TMZ just broke a report that details what allegedly happened in Yella Beezy's case. Because remember, he had the assault charge, and then he had a charge with like child endangerment, and then he had a weapons charge, and it all seemed like a whole bunch of craziness to where you'd be like, what in the world went down for him to catch all these different charges, right? Now, in this story, the headline starts off by saying this. It says, Yella Beezy, allegedly woman on the first date, per law enforcement. Now, to be real, that says a lot. I mean, that's a serious charge, you know what I mean? And they're saying this is coming from a law enforcement source, so let's continue. Now, like I said, man, some of this might be alarming and triggering, so man, just debate on if you want to hear this or not, but it's wild, so let's go. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, Yella Beezy allegedly forced himself on a woman during a first date, and even after she told him to stop, proceeded to her, according to what cops in Texas say the woman told officers. So basically, they're saying, and I know I had to blank that out because, you know, YouTube does not like that word, so I don't want to use that word on the platform, but they're saying that he was told to stop, and then according to this source and according to this story, this is what the story is saying, not me, that the lady was, in this story, was taken advantage of and pressed upon it to where it got into the criminal area. You see what I'm saying? Now, and became an assault. So the story continues by saying this. It says, TMZ has obtained the arrest warrant and probable cause affidavit from Yella's or his assault case out of Collin County. And the story is pretty straightforward. According to the docs, an unidentified woman came to the ER to report an alleged assault in April. So basically saying that in April time frame, which was some time ago, man, because he was arrested only 2 weeks ago. So it's been a while, and they just picked him up on this situation. You know what I mean? Now, it starts off, it continues by saying this. It says, per the docs, the woman says Yella contacted her on Instagram in late April, asking if she was looking for a new friend. After some back and forth, she says he asked her out, and they eventually made plans to grab a bite in Dallas and for some bowling afterwards. So it looks like, based on their communication, according to this story, they were setting up a date in Dallas to go grab something to eat and to go bowl. Now, it also says that the alleged victim told police everything was going smoothly. That is, until she says he invited her back to his apartment while they waited for their bowling reservations at 10 p.m. A 2-hour window after they'd wrapped dinner. She agreed. They went back to his pad. Once there, the woman claims they played cards and talked until she says Yella asked her for a massage while he was shirtless. Now, we're going to stop right there and just say, like I said, man, this is troubling to hear, man. It's wild. This is a wild story. Now, it continues by saying this. It says, which she said she gave him. So basically saying that she gave him a shirtless massage. Now, once she finished, she says she sat down next to him, and that's when she claims he pounced on her. Now, basically saying that he, kind of jumped on her or pounced on her, however you want to interpret that word, right? Now, the details after that, they get a little too descriptive, and I know there ain't no way, this video will stay up if I get to explaining the rest of this, But basically, after that, she said that he started to forcibly kiss on her and then, proceeded with the assault. Now, it's wild, man. I'm telling you, it's triggering for anybody, who doesn't want to hear that type of stuff. And it's wild to say the least. Now, it ends by, and that when I say it, I'm talking about the story ends by saying, eventually, the woman says she was able to break free and make a run for it. She claims Yella essentially tried to gaslight her into making her think she initiated the sex by kissing him. And it also says that the next day, she went to the hospital, which is when the authorities got involved. So it looks like she went to the hospital the very next day, and that's when the authorities got involved. And I guess they've been waiting for a good time to apprehend Yella Beezy, but it looks like, they eventually got to it. Now, the story also says this. This is the last part, I swear. It says, as we reported, Yella was booked on not just the assault charge, but others too, including felony abandonment, endangering a child, and misdemeanor unlawful carrying a weapon. Unclear how those charges came about, but the affidavit obviously sheds light on the assault charge. We reached out to Yella Beezy's team. So far, no word back. So, man, right now, they've tried to reach out to Yella Beezy to get his side of it, but he's obviously not going to say anything because, legally, that would probably be stupid. This has gotten to a situation where it's gotten out of out of his hands as far as being able to try this in the public opinion. This is going to have to be something that's tried, obviously, in court, man. This is wild, man. This is a wild situation. And, man, even though we went over this story, I want to make sure that I clear the air on a few things, man. I am in no way condoning any type of behavior like that was detailed in the story. And I am in no way saying that Yella Beezy is guilty of this. And I am also in no way saying that the, not believing the accuser or the alleged victim in this situation. You know what I mean? I sympathize with all parties involved, and eventually we'll get to the truth, obviously, in the trial. Now, with that, what do you guys think? What do you think about this whole situation? Is Yella Beezy's career over now, or do you feel like this situation will have to play out in court before, everybody, the court of public opinion weighs in finally on Yella Beezy and his career? I mean, there's been a lot going on as far as Dallas rappers since last year, right? You had the situation where Mo3 passed away, and a lot of Dallas rappers, their names were in the news heavily. Yella Beezy was probably the main person, outside of Mo3 that people were talking about a lot. And it was a lot of talk about the fact that he's been getting arrested, you know what I mean? But this seems like, once you hear the details and read that story from TMZ, this is a horrible situation, and you hate to see it going down in hip-hop, man, to be real. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content, and we out of here. Peace.